a change the world is waiting for. We've got a love the world is desperate for. We will lead and take to your streets. Now's the time for us to rise and carry hope and let love shine and show this world that mercy is alive. Now's the time.
Because this wasn't my first mission trip, my greatest desire was that my boys would get to go. But my second greatest desire was I wanted our church to experience missions firsthand and to watch them interact with the missionaries and interact with the kids and begin to have a world perspective on who we are, what our responsibility is. And I was so unbelievably encouraged by watching our people begin to catch fire throughout the week, just because God was using them in the lives of small children and missionaries, and to watch their faces literally change moment by moment as God began to work in their lives. And I think we've come back from this mission trip a changed group of people, and I hope that spreads throughout our entire church.
I really didn't have a clue what missionaries were all about. I mean, I had a vague idea, you know, they provide food or they provide shelter or, you know, different needs for different people. And so this trip was a huge eye-opener on what missionaries do, and especially our missionary. And watching Andrew and watching Jerry with the kids was so heartwarming. You know, when Andrew would talk about the kids, they were his kids, and he would light up when he talked about those kids. And in fact, at the orphanage, there was a little boy, when he saw Andrew, he just ran up to him and just gave him a big old hug, you know, and he was so happy to see Andrew, and it just a huge heartwarming moment for me. And then to listen to Jerry talk about his plans for Manna and the church and the feeding centers, and he would just he couldn't contain his excitement when he would talk about plans and watching God work.
When we went to the kids camp, kids service, and the missionary asked if any of the kids were saved, that they would raise their hand. So there was like 30 or 40 kids there, and about 90% or more raised their hand. And I mean, what they're doing, Manna, and what they're doing in these foreign countries is great. I mean, they're getting kids, and the kids bring family. I think we need to be doing that more everywhere.
This being my first mission trip, I really wish my sister was there, and my sister-in-law and my brother-in-law, Jeff and Katie, and for them to be able to see and feel what we feel, it'd be amazing, because there's so much of the world that doesn't know God and doesn't know Jesus. I mean, we all know about how he's been here and how he's coming again, but a lot of people don't even know that he's ever even come.
Once we got to the feed center, we were able to meet the first group of kids, and we got to interact with them and color with them and play with them, and it was just so special. And then what was really touching to me was the missionaries, how they would light up the room and light up the children, and, you know, talk about, you know, God and love and faith, and just how much these children are loved and just how much they help them. And it was just incredibly special, and something that I will just remember forever.
The day that stuck in my head was when we went to La Gomera. It was a little town, dirt roads. There was nothing really much there. I mean, there was little houses, and the kids were lucky to have a bed. And it just stuck out because these kids, they're great kids, they're having fun, but they have nothing.
Over here, I mean, everybody has a chance to see Jesus and a chance to go to church and a chance to accept him, but over there it's a lot more rare. There's a lot of Catholic churches, and other religions there, but you don't see very many Baptist, not even Baptist, just Christian churches.
I will never be able to forget the children, their faces, and I don't want to. I'm sure that every single one of us was touched somehow by the children that we met.
I would tell somebody who's going on a mission trip probably just to do it. It's fun. You do stuff that you might be uncomfortable with, but after the fact, you're better for doing it, and it kind of expands your view on the world.
I was a little bit nervous going into it, and I was unsure of, I didn't know what to expect, and so there was some nervousness, there was some hesitation, and but after experiencing this trip and knowing what I know, I wouldn't hesitate for a second, and I'm looking forward to going back, for another mission trip. It's completely changed my viewpoint on mission trips entirely, and not just supporting them, but just going on them, experiencing it directly. It's a lot different than hearing like a missionary talk about the needs in these areas. To go out there and experience it is
To see the need and to experience the need and be right there where the need is at is, if anyone thinks that they might go on one, do it, and then do it again.
Yeah.
Simple as that.
Wait.